Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the algorithm. What is the algorithm now and how is it treating bigger creators and smaller micro creators? This pretty much applies to all social platforms, but let's take YouTube for example. Before, if you had many subscribers and you had a big following, you're guaranteed to get also like big views. Your content will be pushed to most of your subscribers. So the bigger creator you would be, the more safe you would be, and the more stable your views would be pretty much. But now the algorithm has changed, and because of that, all videos are being reviewed and judged by the algorithm separate from the creators. So it has nothing to do with the creators. Well, it has something to do with how many subscribers and fans they have, but it's way less than it used to be. So now even if you're a big creator and you have a lot of subscribers, a lot of fans, and if your video isn't good enough, it will not be shown to that many people now. If you're a micro creator, on the other hand, it's really good to be a small micro creator. If you do a good video, it might pop off a lot and get more views than this big creators video. So in a way, the play field is kind of leveled up. It's more difficult for big creators to stay relevant, and it's way easier for micro creators to pop off. It's good time to be a micro creator. It's not so good time to be a huge creator. I mean, if you don't happen to be a huge creator, I'm talking about like Mr. Beast and so on, this must sound like good and fair thing to you. But there is a small little issue. There is one specific method that these bigger creators have started to use to fight against this algorithm battle. And a lot of these big creators, of them have bigger teams and obviously bigger budget, more money to spend. So what is this mysterious method that these big creators are using? It's not what you might think. It's not a high production videos. Obviously every creator tries to make as good quality content as possible, and it's probably a good way to easily separate yourself from some creators who just started to film with their iPhones or whatever. But when we compare now to before, now even smaller creators can have like such a good like production value. So it's not even that. And I don't know if you have noticed, but there's this kind of trend bit lately that less edited videos are starting to pop off more and more. Maybe this is just my guess, but maybe because there's some sort of like fatigue on like overly fancily produced videos. So maybe people just want to have more chill, laid back videos when people just sit down basically and just talk. Probably similar to this video. High production videos might do a difference, but it's not enough to fight against this algorithm battle. So next we talk about ads. So first of all, ads are getting more and more expensive, and they are becoming less and less efficient, which is really not a good combination. And just think for yourself how many times you have been on social media or whatever, and you have found like a creator that you started to follow from ads. I'm not sure if I ever have found anyone that I follow from ads, honestly. Nowadays I feel like people are so sensitive to ads and even influencer marketing that when they see it, they're just like, oh, they're selling something, next, whatever. And it's not different strategies on thumbnails, titles. I think a lot of people talk about this stuff. I mean, like, this stuff works for sure, you know, and it is useful if you're trying to do YouTube or something similar long term, to learn like this basic stuff, like how to find the best titles, the thumbnails, and you know, how to test and run this thing in the most optimal way. That is obviously something good to learn for long term, you know, but this is something that all the big creators are obviously doing already. Like, they have maximized all the thumbnail, all the crazy things. They have it all solved out. They have probably have like a person dedicated to specifically just to do this one task perfectly, you know. So that's not it. This is something more dramatic and more effective. So to find the solution, let's think about a normal person. Let's think about an average Joe. On their free time, what do they spend most of the time doing? Often scrolling their phones, or scrolling their computers or iPads or whatever. And where does an average Joe find new creators? Well, on social media, they scroll and a new video pops on their feed. They find it organically in their feed, not from ads, okay? So in conclusion, where is most people's attention nowadays? It's in organic content. So what these huge creators are doing, they are attacking aggressively on their organic content, and they do this by having a clipping army. So now you might think, what is a clipping army? Well, so clipping army is a lot of editors taking your already existing content, like the one that you will make for YouTube or podcast or even ads, and then they chop it into small clips and post it all over social media on separate accounts specifically named after you or your brand. So you might have already seen, if you have gone through some short form content on TikTok or YouTube shorts, whatever, you might have seen that there are these fan pages, fan accounts named after, like, for example, Nino Business or Nino Clips or whatever. These are exactly the type of pages that will post clips about your content. So let's talk about why having a clipping army is such a powerful tool that you can fight against the algorithm. The best tool that these big creators are already doing. You might not have heard about it because it's still reasonably new, but if you truly want to have a chance in this battle for views, you really need to know about this at big scale. Just imagine 100 pages posting content of you many times a day, how much more guaranteed reach it will get. And second thing is that it's way cheaper than running ads. Ads cost like $8 or 10 per 1,000 views, and those 1,000 views that see it are not gonna care about it anyways. So in clipping, it costs around $1 to $2 per 1,000 views on average. So you can see already that the price difference is completely different, and these people are actually going to care about the content because it's not ads forced on their face. And when you're paying only for the views, so after the clippers generate views, they are gonna get paid. So there is no risk on that end whatsoever. And this doesn't require any more work on the creator's end, because you're already making the long form content. Now you just need to build a proper, better distribution system, just like these huge creators are already doing. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, check out the description. You can contact me there.